Here we are together again on the radio. This from a blog by one of the reporters for the Chicago Tribune. It appears on the Chicago Tribune website. Her name is Judith Graham. And here it is. Kind of relates to everything we talk about here, frankly, all the time. Why are there so many unintended pregnancies in the U.S. when contraception is readily available? Researchers from Princeton University and Columbia University suggest a provocative answer in a just-published paper in Perspectives on Sexual and Reproductive Health. Says here that men and women may opt against using contraception because you know the reason. But they have the reason they're stating here. They say it increases sexual excitement and fuels romantic fantasies surrounding love and commitment. That's the theory. Says here also, young women may view a pregnancy as a way to start a new life, escape from home, and improve their status, the authors say. In other words, becoming pregnant may hold a positive payoff for men and women, even when they don't particularly want to raise a child. The researchers call this phenomenon pregnancy ambivalence, and they claim it has more to do with unintended pregnancies than previously realized. Of course, it's not the only reason why 48% of all pregnancies in the U.S. are unplanned. 48%! 48%! And I don't believe 48% of them are unplanned. I think 80% of the 48% are planned, but the other person doesn't know it. Just a guess. Says here, poverty, a lack of education, and insufficient access to reproductive health services and other factors also play a part. But it says here, human behavior is complex, and our hopes, aspirations, and, yes, desires have a lot to do with what we do, even if we're not fully aware of our motivations. For their study, the Princeton and Columbia experts did in-depth interviews with 24 women and 12 men in Atlanta, a small sample. The mean age of women was 36. For men, it was 32. People were chosen for the study deliberately, not randomly, in an attempt to explore the experiences of individuals in various life situations. Half of the participants had at least one unintended pregnancy. The goal of the research was to explore the circumstances surrounding these events. 3 important themes emerge. 1, unprotected sex can be exciting. Think of it as a risk-taking endeavor. You know something you don't want to happen could happen, but you do it anyway. Playing with fire can be a turn-on. And maybe you see pregnancy as an ultimate act of consummation. This is what Alex, a 27-year-old woman, said of her unintended pregnancy at the age of 22. She said, sometimes when I was having sex with him, I would just kind of lose my mind a little bit and want to have a baby with him so badly. It was like I can't get close enough to him or get connected enough with him, and conceiving a child would be the closest we could get. 2, romantic fantasies can intervene. This has less to do with sex and more to do with the desire for love and connection. Your mind jumps ahead to the great life you'll have with your partner when you're together. This isn't really about having a baby. It's all about securing commitment and solidifying a relationship with a loved one. And 3, it's a means of escape. Becoming pregnant can be a way for young people to break with their parents and strike out on their own. A baby can represent a young man or woman's hope for change or an improved situation in life. This is how the researchers describe Rose, a 50-year-old woman who became pregnant for the first time at 14. She met her future husband, a popular young man, while dancing at Chicago's Magnolia Ballroom. She said, in addition to his flattery, the young man offered her an escape from her harsh life at home, which was marred by poverty, a strict and exhausted mother, 9 siblings and an absent father. She remembers feeling impoverished by a lack of material and status items. And while taken with the young man himself, she was perhaps even more seduced by the new life and new things he promised. Rose is quoted as saying, "I felt good when I found out I was pregnant. I wanted to get out of my mother's house. I wanted to make a family." All you guys who have girlfriends who live at home with mom, remember what I just read to you. Many women think that if you knock them up, it's a promise of a new life. Getting out of living with mom and dad. Says here, maybe the researchers speculate getting pregnant accidentally is actually a, what have we been telling you, a purposeful action. In many instances, a way of trying to fulfill unmet needs. Guys, this is why you have to use a condom 100% of the time. Did you know all of these things are going on in people's minds when they're having sex? Especially women. Did you know they're thinking about all these things? All you guys, I'm using the pull-out all the time. I just thinking, I've never gotten anybody pregnant so far, so it's not likely to happen. When women are having sex with you, especially if they're living home with mom and dad, listen to the things they think about. Starting families, new lives, new promise, changing your life, falling in love, being romantic, wanting to feel closer to you. Ever have these chicks, you just want to bang them and they're always trying to get you into a relationship? This is how they think. You can't have sex without a condom. And many of the so-called unintended pregnancies are intentional. Amazing. Judith Graham, the author of this blog, goes on to say, maybe pregnancy prevention programs don't work oftentimes because they don't recognize the, quote, social, emotional, and sexual benefits, quotes, of becoming pregnant. Now, again, I don't think these are benefits. I think these are imagined benefits. Because if you're in poverty, your life is not going to get better by having a baby. It's going to get worse. Because having a baby and raising a child is very, very expensive. So I've been telling you all along, many of these so-called accidental pregnancies are not accidental. They're intentional. Do you disagree?
1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Leykis.
Your show is what all men need. I mean, we need to get put up on game, and you do a great job with that.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. Interesting blog that we read to you from the Chicago Tribune about a study done by researchers from Princeton University and Columbia University suggesting why there are so many so-called unintended pregnancies in the United States when contraception is everywhere. And the real answer is because, well, you, the guy, may think they're unintended, but they're really not unintended. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Tom? Hey, real quick. Yeah, I was just telling Dino that about 3 weeks ago.
Wait, you were telling Dean? Wait, hang on a second. Dean, could you come in here a second, please? Let's get Dean in here. Find out what John told him.
Record. That really has to be
Step right up.
Man, oh man. That was a record.
That took 8 seconds.
Unbelievable.
Yes. All right.
He had to do that on purpose.
What did John tell you? It sounds like you two had quite the conversation.
Not even. He had a good story, in my opinion. The girl he's with said that if he got her pregnant, she would make his life a living hell, and that was her threat to him.
And he's still living with her?
Yes. So
that would have been interesting to find out. Did he tell you why he's still living with her?
No, I thought we'd leave that for the air. So I said, shut your radio off and don't curse.
So he didn't tell you that part?
No, I didn't get that far.
All right, we'll put him back on to find out. Thank you. Put him on to find out that part. So you're still living with her, John?
Not at all.
He just said you were.
I don't know where
Dean, come back in here a second. Let's get Dean back in here a second. All right, Dean. He says that he is not living with her, and he was never living with her.
Oh, I thought I was under the impression that he was. John, I thought you were living with her.
No.
But she did say she's going to make your life hell if you were pregnant, correct?
Not if I was.
No, if she was pregnant, she would make your life hell. She said that?
Verbatim.
Okay.
And you're still dating her?
Not at all.
Right, so you dumped her?
Absolutely, without hesitation.
And did you tell her why?
I just let her know that, I did. I straight told her, I said, I've never had a female tell me anything of that nature in general, and there was just no way I was going to keep myself involved in a situation like that.
Wow. Well, you got off lucky. Did she try to convince you to change your mind?
She didn't. Did she try to get me to change my mind?
Did she?
No.
Maybe she just wanted to get rid of you.
Maybe. It could have been the case.
I can't believe a woman would say that.
What's that?
I can't believe a woman would say that. I'm going to make your life a living hell. If I get pregnant, I'm going to make your life a living hell. Well, thanks for the warning.
Yeah, huge red flag. Like I said, without hesitation, let her know that, hey, I've never had anybody tell me that, and there's no way I'm going to stay involved in something like that.
And that was your girlfriend, John?
She was a girl I'd been with for a couple of weeks. I met her like 2 months. We were getting to that point, but after that, there was no way it was going to continue.
Why do you need a girlfriend or anything resembling a girlfriend?
I don't. I just thought I knew more than father.
This is what they do, John.
I'm glad I found out this way without having to take any more further steps into the process, because that scared me, man.
So next time you find somebody who's nice and who's good in bed, why don't you just resist that urge to have a commitment?
Absolutely.
All right, John.
Hey, take me out Portal style, followed by a cougar if you could.
All right, John, here you go.
Thank you, sir.
Love that. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Julie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello. How are you today? And yes, sir, Tom.
Doing great.
Well, my take on it is, I think, basically, every child that's conceived deserves to be wanted. So any child that's conceived from an accident, they're really not wanted. And what a stigma to live with your entire life, that you were an accident or whatever. But one point that I have is that any chick that's going to do this, and they're out there, they are definitely out there. I've got 3 kids, but all 3 of my kids were conceived with my husband when we were married, when we were ready to have children. But any chick that's going to do this, it's absolutely selfish. She's only thinking of herself. She's not thinking about her dude or whatever, and she's not thinking about the life of the child. And any guy, that let's say he was going to step up and I'm going to take care of this kid, that's not the woman you want to be the mother of your children, because she's absolutely selfish. And to be an effective parent, you need to be selfless, not selfish.
Well, some of them are selfless with their children and selfish with any man they're involved with, like, for example, the sperm donor or the human wallet attached to that kid.
True. But I think in any, just being, you have to be selfless, to be in any kind of effective relationship. You have to put particularly with children, you have to put your needs second, Like, if it comes down to one person's going to get fed, who gets fed, the kid or yourself? And anybody that's only thinking about their own instant gratification, this is what I want, and I'm going to do whatever I have to get what I want, screw everybody else, that's really not the person that you would want to be the mother of your child.
Well, I think a lot of the guys don't even want to be parents. They don't want to have a child, much less have someone be the mother of their child.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Unintended pregnancies. Come on. My ass, unintended.
Oh, come on. You know, and like with my girls, I've got all three of mine are girls, you know, and and just when they're in relationships and stuff, I've told them, you know, women set themselves up. You know, they set guys up to fail all the time. Just they ask them, you know, oh, do I look fat or whatever. You know, you're asking a guy a question that you know you're not going to get the answer you want. You're always setting somebody up to fail. And, you know, you got to tell somebody the rules of the game. You know, I think that's what you got to do. You got to be square. You got to be straight with people. You know, and I don't know, girls are just out there, so many of them, that are just out there they don't really care about the guy. They just want to get what they want at the time. And they will say anything and they will do anything. And then when the tables turn on them and they are not getting what they want, you know, or they don't feel like they're getting what they deserve, you know, then they'll just make trouble. So, guys, yeah, Tom's absolutely right. Wear a condom 100% of the time. Besides the health issue, just for that reason. You got to protect yourself. And definitely DNA test all the way.
That's right. Julie, thank you.
Take me out however you want, Tom.
Oh, there you go, baby. 1-800-5800-TOM, a study on all those so-called unintended pregnancies. What a surprise. Many of them are intended. You just don't know they're intended, you moron. 1-800-5800-866. Raman, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What's up, Tom? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay.
Hey, listen, Tom, you know, I listen to your show all the time. You know, I have your podcast on my iTunes. Love your show. It's a great show. And, you know, I'm a young guy. You know, I'm 19. And I had a question. You know, I've had a relationship for about 5 years now with a wonderful woman. You know, I really haven't had any problems with her. And I want to know why you really don't like women that much. You know,
why do you say that?
Because every time I hear your show, I mean, you know, all I hear is, you know, women. Why would you want to go out with this woman? Why do you want to marry this woman? She's going to ruin your life. Not
wanting to marry a woman and not wanting to be in a permanent relationship does not imply that someone doesn't like women.
So, well, you would never go out with another woman and, you know, either be her girlfriend or never get married again, right?
I see no benefit to a man to get married. None.
And why is that?
Because anything you can get from being married, you can get without being married.
We can't find love, and of course these days...
Well, so you don't love... So let me understand. You don't love your girlfriend, then?
Well, of course I love my girlfriend.
Well, like, you don't need to get married to love her, do you?
Well, I'm not planning on getting married anytime soon.
Well, my point is you love her whether you marry her or not, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to get married to find love.
Well, I mean, you know, it's a lot easier to start a family and, you know...
I don't think it's any easier to start a family, you know... you know, a few pumps and you're done. Married or not married.
Is there anything wrong with, you know, someone like me having a relationship?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you what it is. You're too young to know that you have missed out on the experiences of youth, which include having different experiences with different people. And that doesn't necessarily mean having sex with all of them. You just might be dating them or getting to know them. You are giving that up. And what you don't know at 19, because you think you know everything, is that later on you're going to say, what did I miss out on? And this is frequently the reason why people have affairs when they're 28 and 32 years old, because they do wonder what they missed out on. When all the lust is gone, which it will be, when the novelty of it wears off, which it always does, that is when people start to wonder what they missed out on. But you, being 19, are too young to know this. And like many people who are 19, you think you know everything.
Well, Tom, you know, I totally understand what you're saying. But, I mean, I really don't think I missed out on a lot.
Well, because you don't know any better.
Well, because when I didn't have a girlfriend, you know, I was actually getting arrested, you know, going to jail, going to juvenile hall. I'm not suggesting
that getting arrested and going to jail are what you're missing out on. I am suggesting that you're missing out on having the experience of being with a variety of women.
You mean what you're trying to say is going out,
and the four girls you dated, the four girls you dated before your girlfriend or whatever it was, doesn't count.
I just don't think there's really much out there unless you want to go.
Well, again, the reason you don't think that is because you're young and immature.
So I'm immature for having a relationship for 5 years.
You are immature for believing that you don't need any more experiences than what you have. Because later on, when you are mature, you will see that what I'm saying is right.
So what would you tell me right now, flat out?
I would tell you that you should date a variety of people and that you should not be committed to anybody at such a young age.
Okay. So should I dump her or what?
Well, you won't. Why do you care?
Of course I'm not, Tom. I just wanted to get your opinion.
You know my opinion about that. You know my opinion about that. Jen, you're awfully quiet all of a sudden. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Yes?
Hey, Tom, am I still breaking up or can you hear me?
I didn't know you were breaking up.
Okay, beautiful. Tom, first let me preface this conversation by apologizing, man. I've listened to you off and on, and I thought this guy's full of it. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's appealing to the lowest common denominator in our society and all these other things. But, brother, I got hooked up with this chick. She's 21. I'm 37. She's already got a kid. You know, I was appreciating the physical aspects of the relationship. I wasn't really questioning a lot. She told me she was on the shop. And I thought, okay, well, that's cool. And then she kind of mentioned that she was going to change birth control in passing. And she failed to mention that, well, there was a downtime where the birth control wasn't going to be effective because of something or other. And she tells me that.
Well, let me educate you and the audience about that, because this, you know, even though it's female birth control, you should know how it works. Because, for example, when a woman goes on the pill, she has to be on it for at least a month before it's effective. And the doctor will recommend using condoms for the first month you're on the pill.
Yeah.
Or some other form of birth control. But you're 37. I'm amazed that you don't know that and didn't bother to find out.
Well, like you said, Tom, I was trusting her, and I was appreciating the physical aspects of it, if you know what I mean. But I bit it off, and then I just spit it out, man. I don't want to be in that situation anymore. I told her, I said, hey, man, you lied to me by leaving out certain pertinent facts that I should have known.
Did she get pregnant?
Yeah, she got pregnant, all right. I got rid of it. We got rid of it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Yeah, lucky me. Roe v. Wade, baby.
Did you dump her after that?
Of course. Of course, man.
How did she react to that?
And then I shut the phone. And I clicked the phone off. I
love that. You know, if they don't cry hysterically and uncontrollably, I haven't done my job.
That's a good angle, Tom.
That's how I see it. Thanks for the call, Mike. 1:30 on the Tom Leykis Show. Here we are talking about a study that was written about in the Chicago Tribune blog section of their website. They studied these so-called unintended pregnancies, and what a shocker. They found out that many of these pregnancies are intended. It's just that you, guys, you didn't know about it. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Nancy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, how are you, Tom?
I'm great.
Okay, so the reason why I called, I just started listening to your show, and it's very interesting. I like how you're very blunt with a lot of things, and I appreciate that. However, it's like your opinions about women, to me, seem very, I don't know, like, what have you been through? Have you been married before?
Of course. You are a new listener. I've been married and divorced, yes. And by the way, 1 out of 2 marriages ends in divorce, so I'm not alone.
And, you know, I totally understand that. I'm a sociology major, so, you know, divorce rate is high, and I do understand that. But do you think that people should actually learn from their own experiences instead of being told what to do? Because I just heard the previous listener. He was talking about a committed relationship he's been in. Before the relationship, he was actually in trouble, so he was trying to say that the relationship actually, in a way, saved his
Before
life.
the relationship, he was 15.
And I do understand that, you know, I'm 25, went to college, had a good time, you know, dated other guys. But it seems like being in a relationship, it's good sometimes. You learn a lot from it. You learn about yourself. You learn to compromise with people.
Well, that's all wonderful, but I have heard over the years from thousands, not hundreds or dozens, but thousands of callers who have told me that later on they had an affair or more than one. And the reason they did it was simply because they didn't realize how much they'd missed out on, or they wanted to know what they'd missed out on when they were younger.
And that's the thing. I think the problem...
And I hear that more from women than from men.
You know what? And I agree with you, but the thing is, I think that the problem nowadays is that people want to get married. To them, marriage is a commitment. And seriously, you don't need to get married to be committed. So all I'm saying is that maybe people should just wait a little bit longer, you know, do what you need to do.
Wait a minute. You just agreed with me that if people commit early on in life, that later on they wonder what they missed out on. And then they act out. You just admitted that what I said is true.
And I do admit that, but I don't think
so. If that's true, then somebody like that caller should not be in a committed relationship. He certainly shouldn't get married.
Well, that's the thing. I think you're just saying that people should just never get married.
I'm saying that men. There's no benefit to men to get married.
Okay, are you aware that a lot of men need somebody to actually take care of them? You know, they've had the mothers take care of them.
Guess what? Those men should man up and learn how to take care of themselves. And they should not be getting married.
They're not going to man up, Tom. There's a lot of men
I don't think getting married solves their problems, because still 1 out of 2 marriages ends in divorce.
I mean, and you know what? A lot of things you're saying are very true. I do agree with a lot of things you're saying, but the only thing is that...
But you see, here I am saying all these true things, and you assume that because I'm saying all these things, which you know are true, that I hate women. I don't hate women. That's ridiculous.
I never said you hate women. I just think that the experiences you went through, it's what...
The experiences I've been through, most men have been through.
Okay, so all I'm trying to say, Tom, is that, yeah, you know what, people wait off, you know, have relationships if you want to, but, you know, experience life, have a good time, accomplish what you want to accomplish in your life, fulfill your life first, and then it's okay to get married. You know, make sure you... There is no
need for a man to get married. There is no need for it, and no benefit to it.
And, I mean, I guess I just have a different... I mean, I'm 25.
What are the benefits?
For 2 years, I don't plan on getting married anytime soon. I still need to go back to school, get my master's. I still need a lot to do. My boyfriend as well, he's still doing a lot of things. But, you know, I guess it also depends on your culture. There's sometimes cultures that's like, you know, for you to be fulfilled, you need to be married.
You don't have to be a slave to your culture. You don't.
And that's true.
You know, my grandfather's from another country. I'm not going to be a slave to that culture. And why should I be? I don't live in that country.
That's true, but... I don't know. I mean, do what you do. You're doing a good job, I guess. Advocate for how you feel. That's good. But, I mean, I respect that. I can respect that.
Then don't assume that because I have a different opinion from you that it means I hate women. It's not fair and it's not true.
Exactly, and that's why I decided to call so that I can get that clarified. So I have that clarification, and thank you.
No, you didn't call for a clarification. You called to make an accusation.
No, I said why. What have you been through that you feel that way?
Same thing most men have been through.
And now I understand that, and I appreciate that.
So you think that I have some unique experience here?
No, I just wanted to get your point of view, Tom. I'm not trying to be accusing you of anything.
Hang on a second. John, what did you want to say to Nancy?
She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, you have some good points, but true, like Father said, there's no benefits in marriage for us men.
Okay, well, you know what? I've never been married, therefore I can't really say anything. I don't have experience in that field, so I guess whatever I say, you know, it's still not valid because I've never been through that.
Well, keep in mind, you don't have to have been through it to know that what I'm saying is true, because you can't name one benefit that a man could get for being married that he can't get. Let's say he just wanted to be in a relationship and never get married. The man would be no worse off. He would have all the same things. You could be in love. You can have children. You can live together. You can travel together. You can say nice things to each other. You can have Valentine's Day together. You don't have to sign a legal document to have those things. A man does not benefit from signing that contract.
But what about like taxes? Like a lot of times you need to be married, and what about when you buy a house?
What do you mean you need to? No, stop right there.
Well, I mean, I'm not
stop right there. Let me tell you something. At the rate most women spend money, the tax benefit of being married is dwarfed by the amount of money you have to spend on women who can't stop spending money. And let's face it, this is not me saying something hateful. This is a fact that women do not save or invest or plan. There have been countless articles about it. Women spend money, and then later on when they're 40 and 45, they, what am I going to do? What happens when I retire? What am I going to do? The fact is, a man getting married means he's going to have to pay for your groceries. He'll end up paying a good part of your rent or your mortgage payment. He'll end up paying your student loans off, depending on who you are.
Women that are successful, though, why does it always seem like women are the freeloaders? Women are the ones that are with men for the men to take care of them.
Because I'm going to tell you why. Because attractive women are generally the freeloaders. The unattractive women know they have to go to school, get degrees, work harder. It's the fat or fugly women who work hard and generally get all the degrees, all the credentials, and what have you. Attractive women just want to move into your place and leech.
I kind of like you're calling me ugly. I don't consider myself ugly. I didn't say that. I don't know, but I'm saying not just I think there's a lot of good-looking women out there. You know, I work with a lot of women. They're successful women, and that, to me, that's an inspiration.
Have you been reading about how successful women are having a hard time finding men?
Excuse me?
Haven't you been reading articles recently about how successful women are having a hard time meeting men?
Yeah.
You haven't been reading that?
No.
Well,
sorry, I couldn't really understand the last part that you said. They're what?
I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to say it one last time. Haven't you been reading articles that talk about successful women having a hard time meeting men?
Because I feel that men are threatened by that.
Whatever the reason. Don't matter what the reason is.
I think in a way men want to feel like the ones that, you know, provide for the
Fine.
women.
If that's the way it is, then maybe what I'm saying makes sense.
And I just think men sometimes need to understand that women don't necessarily want a man to provide for them. They just want someone that they can go to sometimes after a hard day of work.
Great. And the thing is, you should go to that man from your own apartment or your own house.
And that's true.
No need to live in the same house. No need to be married. No need to have the same name. No need to get cute checks at the bank with pictures of stagecoaches and kitty cats and puppy dogs.
I mean, what can I say, Tom? You think the way you think, and I can appreciate that, and I hear what you're saying, and that's fine. I just think people have different perspectives, and I guess I still have to go through what I have to go through, and maybe someday I'll agree with you, or maybe I'll still...
Yes, someday you'll find out the hard way, sweetheart.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
A fat girl's kind of like a scooter, okay? They're fun to drive until somebody catches you.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show, coming to you from Hollywood at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the program. Talking about a study that was written about in the Chicago Tribune from Princeton and Columbia universities about the so-called unintended pregnancies in the United States. Well, guess what? Many of these pregnancies are not unintended. 1-800-5800-866. That's our telephone number. Kelly on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Father.
Hello, son.
Got a little bit of a situation. Basically just wanted to throw a warning out to birth control I was using that has failed me. Was actually using, I guess I'm saying 1.5 forms, the Nouveau ring. And
by the way, why do you ever believe a woman when she, number one, when she says she's on birth control, and number two, even if a woman says she's on birth control, why wouldn't you take your own action just in case?
Well, it is my girlfriend of about 5 years now, and we've been on birth control the entire time. Haven't had any mishaps till now.
Oh, so you've been using condoms the whole time?
Up until very recently, yes.
Why did you stop?
I don't know. I guess
maybe you secretly, like the people in the study, maybe secretly you wanted to have a baby.
I don't think so. That's definitely was far from my mind. I didn't ever plan on having any. So I guess just got a little careless. We were using the one form, thought that would be sufficient, and apparently it is not sufficient. Like you say, 100% of the time, I can only fault myself for not following that guideline. Unbelievable. So when's the happy date? Well, not sure yet. She's is from a background where abortion's not really acceptable. She's actually... Yeah, but whoring around is acceptable. Well, like I said, she's my girlfriend. Fornicating is perfectly okay. Yeah. What religion is that? Well, she's from a different culture, South American culture. They typically don't allow abortions. So she's not real religious, but the fact is the abortion is something that bothers her. She is willing to do it for me. We've obviously been talking about it over the last week, pretty hard. From what I hear, and obviously this, it's the woman's choice, 100%. It's up to them what they do. From what my friends are telling me, you shouldn't even say, basically leave it up to them. What are you going to do? That's the way you go with it. Obviously, I don't wish it would go that way, so we're still in negotiations, but I know deep down that she would rather keep it. Obviously didn't want it, didn't plan it. We're not thinking about it, but it's happened, it's here, and I know that she does want to keep it. And am I getting from this conversation that at some point you'll puss out and give in to her desires? Well, she knows my stand on it. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I am about 30 years old. She's a little bit older. I'm not 19 having this talk, so I don't know when's the time. Well, hey, maybe you never want to have kids. Have you decided on that? Well, that was the path that I was on. Well, then what do you mean, what is the time? The time is never. Yeah. Yeah. You see, you're already being talked into it. Yeah, it's, yeah, the negotiations are bad. Obviously, have been pretty distraught. Well, what is there to negotiate? She's either going to do it or not. I mean, are you going to pay her to do it? Are you going to give her cash and prizes? I mean, what are these negotiations? Just, yeah, is it right? Is it time? Are we ready? Do we have the money? Are we ready? You are never ready. I mean, first of all, be a man. Grow a spine. You just told me that your plan was to have no kids. Right. If she's willing to have the abortion, don't throw your life away now. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I mean, come on. If that was your plan and she's willing to do it, why would you let that slip away? Yeah, I guess it would just be giving in or giving her what she wants, pretty much. There's only two choices when someone gets pregnant. Yeah. Two. Keep it or don't. Keep it or don't. And, yes, she has the right to choose. If she's giving you the opportunity to tell her, I want an abortion, and then she'll do what you want, that's a gift. Yeah, I think it is. Don't give that away. Yeah, you're right. Obviously, I want to keep the relationship with her. I really like her. Great girl. Does this destroy a person after she can be sad or cry all the time when she sees a baby? That's the kind of things that are running through the mind. So what are you going to do? I don't know. We do have an appointment set to terminate, but it's still kind of up in the air. Up in the air whether she'll do it, or up in the air whether you will make her do it? Well, both. Like I said, she really has given me the gift of saying yes or no. She's pretty well under the understanding that I do not need this, want this. And if you stand up for it, by the way, I have experience with girls from South America. And as much as they say they're opposed to abortion, if you say you don't want that kid, you won't love that kid, you don't want anything to do with that kid, you can very well get them to flip it over. Yeah, I think that's the case here. That's it. I guess it's in my court. And you have to stand up for what you want. Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I'm getting soft about it all of a sudden and considering giving in.
If it isn't what you want, look, if you want to have a kid, that's fine, but you don't.
Yeah, been kicking the idea around, and I almost cried first couple days. I was even thinking about fatherhood. It's getting a little easier now to think about it, but just did not have this plan. This was definitely not part of my my vision.
Well, then it's time to stand up for what you want and for what you believe in.
Right. So, yeah, her feelings shouldn't overshadow mine.
Well, guess what? Only one person's going to get what they want.
Exactly.
When it comes down to that person should be you.
It should be. You're right.
Good luck, Kelly. Thanks for the call.
The Tom Leykis Show.